All right, so today we're going to talk about really understanding that you are your universe and everything flows through you, and trusting in the unseen and how important it is. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I am so excited to be here today. Thank you for all the beautiful birthday wishes. I appreciate them all. I had an amazing birthday. Before we dive in and talk about the power and the reason why you want to build your faith and trusting in the unseen and understanding that you are your universe, there is no universe separate from you when it comes to manifesting your reality. I want to remind you that I have my free video training. It's called The Number One Reason Why You're Not Manifesting Your SP Back. I have not posted this anywhere ever, nor will it ever be on any social media platform. So it's only for people who request it, and the link is below. And I also have my amazing monthly coaching group where we come together on Zoom every month, and I record them and then catalog the recordings so you can go back and listen to them over and over, because it's all hot seat coaching for usually about 2 hours. And there's also an audio training as well as support within the group. Link is below if you're interested in learning more about that. All right, so let's talk about this, the power in the unseen, and really buying into and understanding that because you are the operant power of your reality, that the universe, your universe, is your own experience, that there is no one and nothing outside of you that can prevent you from not having what it is that you desire. Now, you can prevent yourself based off your limiting beliefs, and you can prevent yourself based off looking at the current circumstances, your current reality, and then believing in that more than you're believing in that you're the creator of your reality, and then moving your thoughts along that path to really support the end goal of what it is that you want. And this is why it's so important to understand these concepts, right? This is part of you really understanding the power you have as the operant power, that you have to remind yourself of this every day. You have to remind yourself that there is no one outside of me that can interrupt this. There is no, or stop it. People can interrupt it because you create it. So you create third parties, you create them living far away, you create them saying they don't want a relationship, you create, them being toxic, you create a lot of yucky things based off your self-concept in relation to them, and then your story of them. So when you go through this process of manifesting your specific person back and having them in your life, you're gonna face your triggers. They are only a mirror reflecting your shit. No one else's. It's just you, babe. This is why there's no one to change but self. And it's really understanding that because you are your own universe, that you're deciding based off what you're focusing on in your mind and affirming and assuming will be. And this is where a lot of people trick themselves. A lot of people, when they first learn law of assumption, they're like, oh, assume it's done and it's mine. And then they're saying it's done. And then they say, well, I've been assuming, I've been thinking new thoughts and it's still not here. Well, no shit, Sherlock. There's a couple reasons. One is your dominant story internally is still the old story. You haven't reprogrammed it enough where now you are this dominant version of you who knows their worth and value, who has a really good dominant story about their specific person as well as yourself, right? Or the other reason is that the 3D lag time. You have held in place for a long time, years, some of you, with this specific person, a story of them and a story of you in relation to them. So just because we start thinking new thoughts, and you will get reflections of those new thoughts showing up in your reality, absolutely, because your thoughts create. But it doesn't mean it's solidified. It doesn't mean it's hardened into fact. It doesn't mean it's now your natural assumption that you automatically know this. If you automatically knew it, then you would automatically be getting it. And if you weren't automatically getting it because of 3D lag time, you still would be assuming in your favor. You still would know you got this in the bag, nothing to fucking worry about, and everything you want is yours. So this is how we trick ourselves. And a lot of people get stuck in this, is they think, well, I just changed my mental diet, which for those of you that don't know, because I have a lot of newbies on this channel, mental diet is the new story, thoughts that you're thinking and focusing on in your mind, that somehow that is their dominant story all of a sudden. And it's not. You're peeling back layers of an onion. some of you, most of you are reprogramming a self-identity that you've been attached to, and you have automatically thought thousands of thoughts that supported this self-identity for years. You don't even know what all that story is. And you're replacing it with the new thinking, the new thoughts, the new story, the new affirmations, the new assumptions. But you don't know that that is who the fuck you are. You don't know without a shadow of a doubt that that's your worth and value, so to speak, in relation to your SP. You don't know that what you want will be yours or is yours, however you want to phrase it for yourself. Because if you did, then you would be trusting in the unseen. You would understand, I am the operant power of my reality. My thoughts create, no one is separate from me. And because I'm thinking these new thoughts, at some point I will have to experience this. I am my own universe. I am the one that's deciding whether I manifest in a certain reality for myself or I don't. And all of that is rooted in my assumptions, my consciousness, which is my mind, what I'm aware of, what I'm focusing on, what I'm judging, what I'm observing, what I'm paying attention to, and what I'm deeming as my truth. And until you create this new story of you and you've solidified that, you'll get a lot of reflections. You're going to be triggered when SP's back in your life. If you're manifesting money, you've never had money, and you have a self-concept that's real shitty tied in with money, you will be triggered when money starts coming in. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel like, oh my God, what do I do with this? Scared that it's going to leave. Like, it's the same shit that we go through with people. It's the same shit. I mean, manifesting is the same. It's going to kick up your old programming. So this is why trusting in the unseen is important. And believe me, somebody who's manifested in her SP multiple times and other SPs multiple times, I fucking get it that the 3D can be a bitch. I know that I can look at my current reality and it is the complete opposite. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I do? Everything I'm telling you to do. I go within. I remember who the fuck I am as the operant power. I remember trusting in the unseen. I persist in that, and I live in the end, and I definitely wholeheartedly reinforce how amazing and incredible I am, because I'm the most important person in my universe, as you should be the most important person in your universe, in your reality, because that is how you knock people and experiences and things that you want off the pedestal and stop making them more important than you. And this is how we start shedding and peeling back a lot of these layers. No one to change but self. You have to change your story of you, and you have to change your story of whatever it is you're manifesting. And you persist in that, knowing the unseen, there's always a movement, even if you don't see it with your five senses. And listen, we've talked about it, especially on my channel. I know I've talked to you guys a million times about how small your view of reality is, that what we do experience with our five senses is fucking like less than 1% of what is actually all around us. So you don't want to bank your truth and your fact off of what is in your current reality in this moment, because one, you are your universe, meaning nothing is separate from you. So your thoughts that you're focusing on, the new ones, the 3D will eventually catch up to them. Your person will eventually catch up to that story. Also, you have to keep assuming that things are working out in your favor. You have to keep assuming by stating every time you're worrying and wondering and doubting and checking 3D that I don't need to worry about anything. This is mine. It's mine. Everything is good. I'm X, Y, and Z. You know, everything's working out in my favor. This person X, Y, and Z, whatever it is you want to affirm. And you persist in that story, and you keep going within and reminding yourself that there's always movement. You start deciding what is going on with the money, or what is going on with people, or what is going on with the house. Whatever it is you want to manifest, it's yours. What if you did get everything you wanted? Who would you be? How would you feel? What would be your focus? What would be your dominant assumptions? This is what you need to do before you experience it with your five senses. There is no one to change but self. So this is why we're not controlling outside of us. We're really controlling inside of us. You're learning to control your mind. You're deciding and telling your subconscious mind, you're commanding it. You're saying, no, this is who we are now. I know we've been this old self-identity, this old self-concept, but we're changing that. Even though I don't believe it, we're not going to identify with that version of ourselves anymore because it didn't work well for us and we're done with it. So here's the new story. Here's the new us. Here's the new experience we're going to manifest. And we're going to keep persisting and thinking those thoughts no matter what is or what is not going on in the current reality. It doesn't matter. It's part of you. You created it. You're the one in charge of your experiences. So you got to get out of victim mindset. And I know, listen, some days it's easier said than others, but this is how I coach myself. Every day, how I built myself up to the self-concept that I am now, I just kept reinforcing it no matter what, we're showing up or not showing up. And I made a commitment to myself a long time ago that I'm not going to be that old fucking shitty self-concept version of myself anymore. I'm going to be this new version of me. And I claimed her and identified her. And I've persisted in that story even when I didn't believe it, know it, trust it, feel it, or see it. I kept persisting and reaffirming that I trust in the unseen. I know there's movement happening in my favor. I know everything is working out in my favor. Why? Because I am so amazing, incredible, and I'm deserving and worthy of having this. And that's what you persist in. And you do that until it hardens into fact. You're doing that because you're hardening into fact a new story of you. And when that shit is anchored the fuck in, then it will be consistently manifesting. You'll get it before then. But it may be hot and cold. You know, really, again, you go within and you see what's the story going on with you. What is the dominant beliefs? How are you dominantly feeling? Your feelings are an indicator of where your thoughts are going. If you feel insecure, anxious, if you feel doubtful, if you feel fearful, then you know. If you feel unloved, unwanted, not chosen, then hello, your dominant fucking focus in your mind, whether you're aware of it or not, is the old story of them and you. No one to change but self. You have to persist. You have to believe in your power. You have to understand no one's separate. You have to understand that you will get what you want. And you won't need it now if you're actually living in the end. You won't need it now if you're grounding yourself more and more in your worth and value, because you won't feel like you're missing anything, because you're now the version of you that is loved, wanted, and chosen. Before, you are loved, wanted, and chosen by a specific person. You know you will be that bitch. That's what this whole game is about. So start claiming her, start trusting in the unseen, or claiming him, start trusting in the unseen, persist in the faith that I'm reprogramming myself so that at some point my 3D will reflect this new beautiful belief system back to me. That's what we want. Don't you want to feel good when you walk around the fucking house every day? Don't you want to feel good when you wake up every day, excited about your life, excited about who you are, who you're becoming, what is unfolding, even if you can't see it, what is going to be the beautiful, delicious surprise that's going to manifest in your reality today, because you've been persisting in new thoughts and at some point they keep being reflected back to you, even if it's not dominant yet, but you still get sprinkles. You want to keep persisting in a favorable story about you. You literally are writing a script of your life. This is the movie playing out. Who do you want to be? What character are you in the movie? Are you the main character, or are you a fucking passerby? Are you allowing yourself to win in this movie script? Or are you fucking, not losing in this movie script? You're deciding it based off every day where your focus and attention goes. So pay attention and choose wisely. All right, guys, I hope this video helped you. I will see you. Bye.